I'm Jeff Rubenstein from the PlayStation blog here in downtown San Francisco, along with Darren Chisholm, the lead multiplayer engineer working on Resistance Retribution. Now, we've seen a lot in the past couple of months about how the interplay between the PSP and the PS3 with Resistance Retribution and Resistance 2. We've heard about the storyline at New York Comic Con. Today, we're unveiling multiplayer. Tell us about it.
We've done a lot of work on multiplayer to make sure that it's a really important facet of the game. It's very solid, got lots of features in there, really great, compelling game modes, a lot of encouragement of teamwork. I think it's a really strong package.
Now, you have your standard modes like capture the flag and deathmatch, but there's some interesting stuff going on there, especially with the assimilation mode. Tell us about that.
Well, simulation is everybody starts out as a human, and one guy starts as a cloven. That's kind of the version of the Russians that have been infected early on with some strain of the virus. So you basically start out and there's this really powerful cloven guy who's trying to kill the Maquis. Anyone he manages to kill gets sucked over and becomes cloven as well. So the Maquis are trying to survive and the cloven are trying to grab them all up. We did some balancing though, so that it's kind of based on the inverse law of ninjas, which is the more ninjas they are, the weaker they are. So if you're on the team with a lot of people, your guys are kind of weak, and the guy who's coming at you is powerful. But once that shifts and the tide turns, and there's a lot of cloven and just a couple Maquis, then the Maquis get the power advantage. So they can really start fighting off a lot of cloven.
So talk about the weapons. I know one of the cool things that you can do with the sniper rifle, the FAR-I, in single player and all the Resistance games is it slows down time. Is that something that's actually going to translate into the multiplayer mode?
Right, so we decided that we wanted that slowdown aspect to carry over to multiplayer in our game, so we developed a slight variation where you actually shoot a beam out that's a kind of a cone shape, and anyone who wanders into that cone while your weapon's discharging gets slowed down in a kind of a local slowdown area.
I can imagine that's going to be pretty maddening, but very satisfying for the people that actually shoot it.
Well, we limited the amount of time that you can slow people down, and also you're trying to shoot them at the same time, and we found that manual aim has always been difficult, especially in a sniper type weapon. So this actually gives the sniper the ability to hone in and shoot his targets.
Now, you were talking about some of the teamwork aspects of Resistance Retribution multiplayer. How is that going to work?
Well, we found that we've done some things that actually encourage teamwork, even if the player isn't consciously aware of it. So, and a few other things that are actually beneficial if they are aware of it. So one is we allow you to revive your teammates. If they get killed, you can run up and revive them within a limited time window. We also do things like if you're carrying the flag, you're slowed down, but if you have a teammate with you, it helps speed you back up. We give you an advantage for being behind cover as well, so you can kind of rush with a group of guys and leave one guy behind to defend, and if he's really holed in there, he's got some advantages against people that are rushing in at him.
And it's important to note that the cover system does remain intact with multiplayer. It's not one of these games where the multiplayer really handles a lot differently from the single player, correct?
We've tried to make it, if you know single player, we've tried to make it a really smooth transition to multiplayer. And things like the aim assist carry over to multiplayer, and they really allow the skill of the player to shine as opposed to how well they can twitch the face buttons in order to aim the camera. So we've tried to make it really easy for players to get in there and get playing.
Now, it seems like there's a few things being done with Resistance Retribution multiplayer that haven't been done on the portable sphere ever before, namely with statistics and integration with the internet and how you can track and leveling up.
We decided early on that we wanted the stats to tie into the myresistance.net website. So while you're playing, there's definitely some stats that you can see in game and at the end of the game, and looking at how many kills and how many captures. But a lot of those stats are actually being sent in the background to the website, so you'll get really in-depth stats and details after the game when you log into the website.
All right, Darren Chisholm from Sony Bend Studios, thanks very much for taking the time to talk with us. Looking forward to the multiplayer, and get back in there with everyone else that's playing right now.
All right, my pleasure.